What is up, Eggy Wegg Nation? Welcome to the 12th episode of the podcast. As always, I'm joined by my fellow co-host, Henry. What's going on, man?
Not much.
We're both doing great because we just watched an amazing, perfect movie, My Fair Lady, 1964. Wow. I mean, I have no words, man.
Winner of the Academy Award for Best Picture.
That's how you know it's good.
Beat Doctor Strangelove, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb.
I didn't even know that. That's fucked.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
The closest chance that Kubrick ever had to winning.
They fucking hate Kubrick, bro. Oh my god.
That was the closest chance they had to winning.
That is so sad.
And My Fair Lady won.
They have personal beef with that guy, bro. I don't know what the fuck their problem is.
Look, for this movie, I'm gonna explain the premise, and then I think we're gonna. I think I want to just go over like some nice things about the movie before like we go
shitting
off
on it.
Yeah. So yeah, it's about this woman called Eliza, and she's like poor. She got a funny voice, and then like a posh like phonetics professor sees her, and he's like, "Oh, your voice is fucking terrible," and he brings her in and teaches her like how to speak properly, and then in the last like 5 minutes they fall in love of the 3-hour movie.
Yep. Very clumsy.
So nice things. It looks really good. Very
looks
nice looking
good.
Movie. Very pretty. That I specifically really love those like that bit where it's like the collage of roses at the start of the movie.
Yeah, those are good
really
as hell.
Nice, really pretty. Probably my favorite part of the movie.
Yeah.
And and I really want the one that specifically really stands out is when they're at the horse racing area, and with all like the whites and the blacks like clash. It's such a beauty, and like the kind of faded. It's really nice looking. It's a movie that like embraces the fact that it's it's like on a soundstage. It's not. There are no like real locations in the movie. It kind of embraces that fact. That's really cool. The sets are like really great. That one set from the beginning where it's like in the town and it's all raining with like the huge pillars. It's like it's really good. There's the instrumental like music is quite nice. I like the most famous song from the movie. I quite like actually. The "Wouldn't It Be Lovely," I think is the name. I really like that song. The other songs were annoying, but I really like that other one. I really like that one. It's like genuinely really nice. This isn't invented by the movie, but I guess it is a first for movies in a way. But the way that the lead guy sort of talks his lyrics, that's like a first for movies. I'm pretty sure it was like a thing that was invented for the stage play of the film, I think.
I didn't know that.
Or at least popularized, because and so
I noticed that.
And that definitely popularized it for movies. I can't remember. I haven't actually looked this up.
Yeah, that's like more conventional now.
It's at least the unique thing for the movie.
Yeah, back then, like I noticed it was an old musical, and I was kind of like,
and he does it well. He does it well.
Bars.
And it's actually innovative in the fact that I think it was like one of the first films where they had like a little tiny mic underneath his like suit to catch his voice.
There were times where I even thought he was going to make it out of the hood. And then I listened to the lyrics, and I'm like, no, you're not.
Oh, yeah.
You're not making out the hood, buddy.
Why aren't women more like men?
We're making it out of high society with this one.
I'm
Yeah.
making it out the slums with this one.
I also no, those I forgot to mention those like still shots at the beginning of. It's not like, I don't know. It's like a fucking like social gathering where they're all dressing the black and white, and like they introduce it with like, this is still shots like one by one. That shit was hard as fuck. I like that a
Oh
lot.
yeah, it's awesome.
But
Yeah,
generally like,
the costumes are. I love the costumes as well. You know,
yeah, no, they're good.
it's not quite like like Gone with the Wind tier, but they are very nice, and there's a lot of them. It's very clearly they put very expensive movie, and they clearly made good use of the money in terms of where they
The
spent it.
technical stuff, yeah, like I didn't have any issues with the technical like aspects of the movie. I don't know about you.
Yeah. There are well, yeah. Aside from the editing, yeah. The as Eliza,
Yeah,
um, she's actually like I think she's very good. She's a bit annoying sometimes, but she's very good. Her physicality is really good actually. Um, Even though her singing is dubbed.
it's
There
very
was a bit of
noticeable.
a thing at the time where the stage play was Eliza was played by Julie Andrews, but thing is, she wasn't like super well known at the time, and the studio wanted someone who was more well known. Because I think Julie Andrews became like a film star with like Mary Poppins, which came out the same year. So they
Okay,
were like, "Oh, okay, we want someone more famous for this massive movie."
we need
And
more
so,
clout. God damn it.
yeah, so they got Audrey Hepburn and then like dubbed her over. Um,
Okay, that makes sense because the dubs like this is like a nitpick compared to like the other flaws in the movie, but
yeah,
the dub like is very obvious. Like you
yeah,
can really
yeah. It
tell
is.
with
It
with
is,
some
but at the
scenes.
same time, a lot of older movies are like that.
Yeah, that's why like I
Um,
didn't have a huge problem with it because it's like, yeah, I was like, it's an older
especially
movie.
considering it's like technically a different voice, it's gonna be more
Yeah,
noticeable. Like even in something like Singing in the Rain, you can kind of tell, even though it's like the
yeah.
same voices. But that's not something I really
There wasn't
consider.
much
Like
they could
with
do.
like movies around this time, yeah. Um, there are some really nice creative set pieces. I love when she's singing about meeting the king and getting and getting like Henry arrested, like beheaded,
Yeah,
and there's
yeah.
like all the soldiers and the king shows up. I really like that part. Oh Jesus, where do we begin? Oh
Yeah, that was all the good stuff. By the way, what was that? Like 5 minutes?
fuck me.
Okay, time for the bad stuff. Here we go. The screenplay. Oh my
The
god,
screenplay is
bro.
atrocious. It's
Oh
so
my,
bad,
oh my
so
god.
bad.
That
So
was,
this is my history with the film. When I was first getting into films, like properly, when I started getting serious about films, started like watching them every day. In late 2021, I remember around Christmas time, my mum showed me My Fair Lady because I think it was on TV at the time, and so we watched it, and I was absolutely enchanted by it. I thought just the massive scale and the music and like
yeah,
the color, it was just like it completely like swept me off my feet. I hadn't watched many movies, let alone especially older movies when I watched it. And yeah, it completely swept me away. And I thought it was really funny and witty too, because I thought I thought it was like a satire. I thought it
yeah.
was a satire, and then and then and I thought, and in the end, I was like, wow, what a great movie. She's learned that he's a dumbass and she's gonna leave him. And I thought it was just a funny satire. And then the final scene, she comes back,
Comes
and
back
then
to him,
it comes back to him, and then
fetches his
Henry's like,
slippers.
"Where the devil are my slippers?" And it ends, and I was, and it,
It's a hard cut.
I felt betrayed. I felt betrayed in that moment when
Yeah,
it dawned on me that, oh no, they were being serious.
it's
Oh,
like someone spent. It's like someone spent like 3 hours like baking you like a delicious cake, and then like at the last moment when they're putting it on your plate, they pull their pants down and they take a fat liquid shit all over it. It's
Not
like
really that. It's more like they're making you a cake and it looks wonderful, and then as you eat it, you realize that they replaced the chocolate with shit, and you had no idea. And like the whole time, you had no idea. It's
yeah,
more like
no
that.
idea. Yeah,
Jesus.
I think yeah, like even ignoring like I think the concept for this movie, like just the premise of it, like the elevator pitch for it is like just inherently weird. Like
Yeah.
this guy like teaching her like
Assuming you're telling it completely straight, because
yeah, yeah,
and
exactly.
because unless you put like some spin on it that makes it clear that, like, what's happening is like bad,
It
or
plays it off as like a charming, funny, like haha,
it's a
more than
charming.
anything.
There's a thing I mentioned. I actually mentioned in. I don't know if you've seen my my letterbox review.
No, I don't think.
Um,
No, I didn't. What was it?
or okay. Also, I need to explain something first. So there was that guy called Pickering.
Yeah, yeah.
There's a very famous UK road rage video where there's this guy pulls up to this like middle-aged man who's like screaming, and the middle-aged man's like, do you know who I am? No, I don't. Do you know who I am? No, I don't. I'm Ronnie Pickering. What? I'm Ronnie Pickering. What? I'm Ronnie Pickering. And it's like it's a really famous UK road rage video. And so I heard that his name was, every time they said Pickering, all I could
You
think of
just thought of the
was Ronnie
program.
Pickering. So yeah, and basically my review of it was like imagine as like an online like headline, like this is a Guardian headline. Imagine
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
heartwarming. Ronnie Pickering, age 6, sets up a lemonade stand to pay for his father's medical bills.
That's fucking amazing.
Because that's what it's the kind of thing. It's what it depends what your perspective is. Really, it's like, is it cute that Ronnie Pickering is saving up money for his dad's medical bills, or is it just fucked up that he needs to do that in the first place?
Yeah, yeah. No, I see
And
what
it's
you
kind
mean.
of the same with this movie, where you can either see the ending as sweet, or um, or you can see it as kind of fucking horrible and
Yeah,
dystopian.
because I saw some people's interpretations of it, and they're like, "Oh, like that scene where he's listening to her voice on the recording. It shows that he really loves her, and that he just can't admit it. So that's why he's like purposefully standoffish, like at the end." And it's
Yeah.
like that's fine, but it doesn't erase him being like a misogynistic asshole for like 3 hours before that.
I would have liked to actually see them like sincerely fall in love before that, though, because
No, that's the
as we
thing.
have it, we don't see that happen. All we see is she realizes she leaves him because he's fucking horrible to her, and then she realizes, I have nowhere else to go. I've nowhere else to go, even
Time
though
to
I
go back to
speak,
this guy.
and even though I speak like I'm upper class and I dress like I'm upper class, I'm still lower class, and there's no avoiding that. And the movie reinforces that, which is
Yeah.
a bit horrible. And so it's like, okay, my only option is to go back to fucking old man Henry and pick up his slippers. It's kind of fucking horrible. It's so
That's awful.
horrible.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's
And
so
like
awful.
that fucking yeah, like that ending is just fucking even if at the end she like built her own life for herself at the end, I don't know about you what you would think about it, but
I
I
was
still wouldn't consider it like a great movie because I just thought not only was the romance like not convincing like in the slightest, like there was not one good reason why
so long.
she yeah, it's so long. And also these characters, they're just bland. They're one
They're
dimensional.
horrible.
Especially the guy. He does not have a
He is
personality
fucking, oh my god. He just
on
hates
hating women. Yeah, that's
fucking
his whole
hates
shtick.
women.
That's his whole thing throughout the whole movie. He just hates women. He has a whole musical number about how much
He has
hates women.
multiple. He has
Yeah,
like three.
he has
He has like three musical numbers about
There's
this. One in the
three.
beginning where it's like, oh, I don't like women. They're just not. they talk too much. I like
I
the
wish they
quiet.
were more like
And
guys.
then there's and near the end he's like, I wish they were more like men, all nice and
It was
good.
kind of gay. It was a little
It
gay.
is. It is definitely unintentionally, but yeah.
Yeah,
Although,
he's like
I
super gay.
don't know actually about it because the director George Cukor is like he has a big resume. You know,
Oh,
we're not
okay.
gonna diss the guy because even though he made the shit movie, because one, he was a journeyman director, he probably didn't write the script, and two, he has like he has a huge catalog. You know, he partly directed The Wizard of Oz and Gone with the Wind. You know,
Yeah.
he kind of had it stacked, and I'm not sure. And he was actually put on a lot of films, starring and involving women. That was kind of
Yeah.
his thing, and it's because either he chose those movies or the studio chose them for him, and part of that was probably because around that time he was one of like the only like openly gay directors.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you know, maybe
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 put in
the
some
gay
clear
undertones,
subtext in there and like
were intentional. I don't know. Probably not.
we're giving this movie too much. We're grasping for straws right now
We're giving it
because we
way
just
too much
wasted
credit.
3 hours of our life watching this shit.
Way
Well,
too much credit.
it's even worse because you've watched this twice. You've had
Oh
to
yeah, I've spent 6 hours on this movie.
you spent 6 hours for a
Fuck.
whole lot of nothing. A whole bunch
I'll
of
never get back.
it's fucking so sad.
Man, God. So this movie is like kind of horrible in the way that like it's very elitist. Um,
Yeah.
it kind of openly looks down on like the poor,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it acts like, oh, I don't know.
It
It's kind
doesn't
of hard to put
exactly.
into words, but
It doesn't
it's not
exactly.
flattering.
Yeah. I don't think. I actually don't think that like the movie is like siding with the main guy all the time
I don't think so.
because the characters are calling him out on his like bullshit all the time. It's just
Yeah,
like for some reason, like the movie just like refuses to punish him or make some like it's not actually saying
no.
anything meaningful about class or using him as a way to convey some sort of like deeper message. He's just an asshole, and then he gets like a little slap on the wrist for like 10 minutes at the end of the movie, and then they live happily ever after. Like that's what it came off
Oh
as to
yeah,
me.
yeah, yeah.
I
There's
just
like
sorry, what are you gonna say?
the movie doesn't really like say, oh, that what he's doing is like wrong. It's more like, oh, he's doing it for the wrong reasons. You know, he doesn't actually love her, and then he realizes,
Yeah,
oh, John, maybe I do, maybe I do.
it's like
Where the devil are my slippers?
it's like really misguided. I think like the closest thing like the movie comes to at saying anything actually like kind of interesting about class is like how with Eliza's dad like a bunch of times, and even then it's like done in a very ham-fisted way because he says it like 3 times in his
Oh
monologues.
yeah, yeah.
But it's basically like, yeah, morality is like only a thing that like middle class or like upper class people can like afford. And it's like it's kind of true because when you're poor, like you can't really sometimes you can't afford to be nice or you're pushed to do things that
Mm,
you really wouldn't want to do under like better circumstances.
yeah.
So that was kind of cool. But like the movie, it's like a fucking like side note in this like massive 3 hour long movie, and it doesn't really like go in on it much at all, and instead focuses on like way less interesting things. Uh,
Yeah. It has a lot of. This movie has a lot of songs in it.
yeah,
Most of them are very forgettable and
they're all
annoying.
mid.
They're all mid, except for the
The
lovely
wholesome
one.
one.
You know. But yeah, they're all mid. They're placed. The pacing of the songs is really bad. There'll be like there was one bit I noticed where there was like 20 minutes with no songs, and then there was like one of his like Henry's like talking songs, and then in the very next scene there was another song. It's like, oh, okay, this again.
Yeah, it's very
It's
awkward.
pretty poorly. The whole movie is like very poorly paced. I
Yeah,
hate how they take the lazy way in terms of like showing her. They instead of gradually showing her getting better, um, with her like pronunciation. They just have her be shit at it and do like a funny epic montage, um, and then she just suddenly gets it at some point, and they're like, "Oh, hooray, hooray!" And she's like perfect at it for the rest of the movie.
Yeah, it's like literally like a night and day thing.
Yeah,
I think like comparing this with like I know like the similarities are like pretty superficial, but
yeah,
like the thing is like there's a movie like Gone with the Wind that's also long as fuck and has like is
mm,
also like people consider problematic. The thing is like at least like to me this movie is like one of its movie's biggest flaws besides just like being problematic. It's just like fucking boring. Like there's nothing interesting
oh
happening.
yeah,
At least like in Gone with the Wind, the characters are well developed and they have conflict and interesting things actually happen in the story. But this is
yeah,
just like it's so long and drawn out, and it's just like fucking dinner party after dinner party. And the only conflict you're gonna get is, oh, is she gonna fuck up and people find out that she's low class? That's like the only thing you're in for
yeah.
this movie for. That's
It's
it.
very
That's
low
literally
stakes.
that's all it is.
Yeah,
Um,
it's
and
very
like
low stakes, and you don't care if they fail because nothing's gonna happen.
yeah, yeah, and like okay, like if this was leading up to like again like we said like an arc where like she lives on her own like it'd be better but
Oh yeah,
that
that's
doesn't
fully
happen.
what I was expecting the first time I watched the movie. I was expecting because there's that scene. There's a scene near the end where she's talking about, oh yeah, you're terrible, and she basically just saying, oh yeah, that Henry was just using her as a guinea pig. And I was expecting, okay, this is a nice arc, and I was expecting her to go and go and become a flower
Yeah,
saleswoman or whatever, but like no. Um,
the good ending was like right there and they
oh
just
yeah,
like they fumbled it so
there's a
hard. It would have
good
been so
movie
easy.
in there. I think I'd say that there's a really interesting movie in there if you give it a complete rewrite.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think the
But as
screenplay
it
really lets
is,
it down.
yeah, the screenplay is just completely destroys the entire movie. It's really sad.
I can see how someone would think this is a satire if they don't know, like, if they
Oh
have
yeah,
no
yeah,
context at all. Like, there were plenty of parts in the beginning that actually made me laugh, like, like just because of how
yeah.
shitty the professor guy is. Like, I don't know if you remember the scene, but there's one scene where he's like, she has to like fucking like eat rocks for like her speech
Oh
training
yeah,
thing,
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
she swallows the rock, and he's just like, "Oh, don't worry,
Have
bro, there's
another one.
more." Yeah,
Yeah,
that was actually I find that really funny, but um yeah, it's just like
yeah,
the fact that like the movie doesn't really like punish this character at all just like leaves a bad like impression on
yeah.
me.
And also does that kind of thing where it's like where like when it's funny how like when she's like has her like stereotypical like poor accent, she acts like really dumb
Yeah, she's
for
like a
like no
different fucking
reason.
person.
She's like she acts like really stupid.
Yeah, yeah.
Like like Henry will say something that's like clearly like sarcastic, and she'll go like "ow," and like take it really personally and start crying and sobbing everywhere. It's kind of like what we were talking about with like Prissy and Gone with the Wind. Just
Yeah,
like
yeah.
being needlessly like kind of stupid and like a really horrible kind of stereotype. And then it's like the second she learns how to like
Her
you know
personality just changes.
how to pronounce it, she just becomes a completely different person.
Yeah, it's so fucking stupid. Like
Yeah,
the in the first half, she's just like this like really bad stereotype, like you said, and like caricature of like lower class people. And then
yeah,
she like just like a switch just flicks on, and she's like it because the script needs her to be like different or whatever. So
yeah.
it's just fucking it's like really unnatural. This whole movie is just fucking awkward as hell, bro. Even the pacing's like holy shit, that was the longest 3 hours. I mean, it doesn't help that the movie sucks, but like the pacing is just bad, bro. Like they spent so long on like useless shit that doesn't
No,
matter.
literally useless shit. Like, what was the point of that one guy who like hung out outside like Henry's house because he wanted to like
Oh
fuck her?
yeah,
What was
yeah,
the point of him
yeah.
other than to
Shit.
fill time?
Yeah, it went absolutely fucking nowhere.
God, it's so dumb. What a fucking disaster of a movie. Jesus Christ. Best Picture
What
over Doctor
disaster.
Strangelove. Fucking
I don't
hell.
have too many words. Yeah, that just proves that they have like a bias towards Kubrick and everything he does.
Yeah, no, it's weird. This is twice. It was just a thing in the '60s where like half the Best Picture winners are like these like super long musicals that are like from the UK as well.
Yeah, yeah.
They just there's even like they even like five like even 4 years later, the film that beat 2001 and Rosemary's Baby was like an Oliver Twist adaptation.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
And it's like
Okay.
it's got that same problem where the actual the actual making of the film that is actually it's really solid. It's just that the original like the script, it's just that the story they're basing it on, that they're following just from the play, just sucks.
It's a whole
It's
lot of
not as
mid.
bad, not nearly as bad as My Fair Lady. It's like I'd at least understand if someone liked Oliver, but it's man,
Yeah.
it's yeah. But yeah,
This
it's
is a
like yeah,
snooze fest.
very, very, very great. All the things that they added in the movie, like the acting and the sets and stuff, and but just the story, just the original story they picked just doesn't work.
What was the response to this movie like at the time? Like beyond like
Like critical
winning it.
acclaim,
Oh shit.
it has like a 95 Met score.
That's fucking wild.
Yeah, obviously it's not near. I think it's not nearly as well like today. I think some people still consider it like a classic, but
I
like
honestly like
it's
don't
got
get
like a
the appeal.
it's got like a 3.6 on Letterboxd.
God damn.
I mean, it
Yeah.
should. I mean, in my opinion, it should be lower, but like, it's like I get it. Some people are just gonna like it because it's like sweet, and whatever, and it's pretty, and there's like songs. Um,
Yeah, like I
I
was
mean,
impressed by the technical
I
shit.
liked it up until the last like scene when I first watched it.
Where everything falls
Yeah,
apart.
I loved it. Even I loved it, and then it just completely fell apart.
It's incredible like how
Wow.
well it can work as another movie.
This time watching it, actually like just like from like as soon as like Henry shows up, I'm immediately just hating on it though.
Yeah. I was lucky because at least I went in with it because you watched it before me and you were like, "Oh,
Yeah,
mess, this movie
that's the
sucks."
reason. That's the reason why I picked it. Yeah, because I've got man. I don't know what do you call it. I got like a vendetta against this movie, man.
It did you wrong.
Is that the word vendetta? I don't know.
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Got a chip on my shoulder.
I do think you're right about Audrey Hepburn though. She's like I actually really like her performance. When she's on screen,
Yeah.
it's like there's actually something to like look forward to because her performance is like pretty interesting, even though her character kind of sucks.
Her
Like
physicality is really great, and then she's got like a really expressive face as well. She's in another movie that I've seen, which I really need to rewatch because I think I underrated it a lot. A film called Roman Holiday. And
oh yeah,
she's like really great in that movie.
oh yeah.
She's very funny. There's a scene where like I forgot why, but she's on like prescription like medicine for some reason. So she's just like really high. And it's like really funny. I really
Cable in
underrated
Rome.
that movie. I need to rewatch it, but
That's
yeah,
cute.
no, it's a very cute movie. But
I
man,
don't. Yeah,
this movie,
I think like the technical shit is like the one thing that saves it for me because this is like from an entertainment value perspective, this was a fucking like horrible time for me. I mean, like first hour and a half was like tolerable, but after that, I was like, holy shit, bro! Like we get it. Like we can wrap this shit
well,
up now. Like
like for me, it was like it started out all right, and then like it started out alright, and like the first hour was like okay. I was like kind of like, okay, this isn't very good, but I'm fine with it. And I especially, that like lovely song in the beginning really does prop it up.
Yeah, it's swag.
Because it's a genuinely very nice song. And then the next hour was like, oh my god, okay, it's just starting to get
I
on my
don't care
nerves.
about your
And
fucking
then the
dad at the
last hour,
pub at all.
of the movie is like insufferable.
Yeah.
It's the last hour is fucking. It's horrible. I hate it. I hate that
If
last
it
hour so much.
if it was cut down now, or the movie wouldn't be like saved by any means, but like it wouldn't be as bad.
Yeah,
But like the fact that it's 3 hours is just like really unnecessary. But I think
yeah.
like it's obvious like the main problem is the screenplay. That's really like what fucking like ruins the
Oh
movie.
yeah.
Like if it was just like I was gonna say tweak, but no, that shit needs that shit needs to be burned.
No, it
And
needs a
someone needs
rewrite. It needs a rewrite.
total fucking rewrite. Because goddamn, they fumbled that shit hard.
Well,
There's so many elements that genuinely would work as like a satire though, or even like a like someone on fucking Letterboxd called called this movie a horror movie, and I don't think that's what that's what they intended.
I think
Uh,
they were talking about the post. I think I've seen that review. I think they're talking about the poster.
oh, okay. Well, I'm just saying, if someone
Because
actually wanted to,
the default poster on Letterboxd is slightly horrifying. I changed it. Something more pretty.
yeah, it kind of is.
Okay, yeah. Oh
But
my
I
god.
could see this working as like a drama or like a horror or something like that. But they didn't. They obviously weren't trying to do that. They were just making a funny that wasn't that funny.
Oh my god. Okay, Rex Harrison won Best Actor for his portrayal as Henry in the movie. So,
Wow.
well, okay, it won. Okay, I'm looking at the movies like Oscar wins. It won Art Direction Color, which I think is fair.
Yeah, no,
I'd
that's
say I'd give it
sure.
that. Cinematography, color. Sure, maybe. I don't think I've seen that many films from 1964. If I have, they're probably like foreign films that aren't gonna be considered
Yeah, but
anyway.
like if you're gonna give the movie any award, that's that's the one you would give it
It's like,
because
yeah, costume design, color, My Fair Lady, yeah, sure. Directing, George Cukor, My Fair Lady, no way. Doctor Strangelove was nominated. Come on. That
yes,
movie, come on. Come on.
Doctor Strangelove fucking nukes this movie into oblivion.
It didn't win editing. It was nominated for some reason, but it didn't. Mary Poppins won that. It didn't win music either. It. Oh, never mind. It won Best Adapted Music. Oh, what the fuck?
Oh,
A Hard Day's Night was nominated, like the Beatles movie.
oh,
That's
that's
pretty cool.
hilarious.
That's genuinely pretty cool. Okay, yeah,
Should have won over this
it won
shit.
over Mary Poppins, and that's like, wait, oh, what the fuck? Mary Poppins was nominated for both adapted and original score.
Oh, what?
That's weird.
So there was like,
it won original. That's weird.
what the hell?
Whatever. Okay, it didn't win writing, but it was nominated for some reason. Yeah, that's
Like
it.
I
But
said, like you know what? For like the technical aspects, like fair enough. Like it's
yeah,
fine. It's actually like the colors are looking pretty good. I can't lie.
yeah, no, they are. Um, there's a lot of really nice like browns and greens
Is this movie?
in that main home area. That house set is really impressive.
Yeah, yeah, I
Um,
like it. Is this movie a Technicolor?
it was too late for that.
Oh shit.
It's like 10 years too late.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it would have been the color would have been done in like a Technicolor lab, but it
Oh,
wasn't.
okay.
It's not like a strip movie like Gone with the Wind or like
I
Singing in the
got you.
Rain.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. I was just curious.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of things to appreciate about this movie. Just the way it's made is very incredibly strong, if way too long. But the screenplay just completely destroys it for me. I'm gonna give it. I'm giving it an extremely generous 3 out of 10.
Yeah, like you said in your old review, this is the greatest example of like a polished turd. It's like the most. There's
Oh
Febreze on
yeah,
it. There's like $1 million like robes covering it.
they've
Uh,
painted it in gold.
they painted it in gold and they put like googly eyes on it, but it doesn't change the fact that it's still a turd at the end of the day. So
Oh
sorry
yeah,
guys. That's like a 2 out of 10 for me.
damn.
Could have been worse. Could have been like 8 points better. But that's the way the cookie crumbles. Cookie crumbles.
Yep. All right.
Women.
Eggy Wegg out.
Eggy Weggs loves women.
Eggy Wegg loves women.